Hook. Why water may be keeping you awake. If you're over 55 and find yourself waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. every night, tossing, turning, and unable to drift back to sleep, this may surprise you. The plain glass of water you drink before bed could be part of the problem. But there's a simple, natural alternative that can calm your body, balance your hormones, and help you sleep deeply through the night without side effects. Stay with me, because by the end of this talk, you'll know exactly what to drink instead of water, and how it can transform not only your sleep, but also your brain, heart, and energy levels. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of longevity, memory, healing, and vitality. Yet many older adults struggle to stay asleep through the night. They wake up to use the bathroom, their minds start racing, or they simply can't fall back into deep rest. Over time, these restless nights drain their energy and accelerate aging. Research shows that even a few nights of disrupted sleep can raise inflammation, increase blood pressure, upset blood sugar balance, and speed up cognitive decline. But here's the exciting part. What you drink before bed can have a powerful effect on how well you sleep. Most people assume that sipping plain water before bed is harmless. However, for many seniors, this very habit leads to more awakenings during the night. Instead, a nutrient-rich bedtime drink can calm the nervous system, reduce nighttime bathroom trips, and help the body remain in deep, restorative sleep cycles. So, what is this drink? We'll get to that soon. But first, let's understand why so many people over 55 wake up at the same hours every night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or just before dawn, and why it's so hard to fall back asleep. This common problem is called sleep fragmentation, and one of its biggest causes is nocturia, frequent urination during the night. While many people assume it's just an unavoidable part of aging, science says otherwise. Your body is actually designed to manage fluid balance naturally. Under normal conditions, it releases a hormone called vasopressin, which signals the kidneys to conserve water while you sleep. This allows you to rest through the night without waking up to urinate. However, as we age, vasopressin levels begin to decline. Without enough of this hormone, your kidneys keep filtering water at the same rate as during the day, causing more fluid to reach the bladder, and forcing you to wake up just when your body should be in its deepest, most restorative phase of sleep. Would you like me to continue rewriting the next section, explaining the 6 key points and the sleep drink? As we age, something surprising happens in the body's nightly rhythm. The kidneys keep filtering fluid, and the bladder begins to fill, often enough to trigger a bathroom visit in the middle of the night. This one simple event interrupts the body's natural sleep cycles. Now, combine that with a common bedtime habit among older adults, drinking a full glass of plain water before going to sleep. Together, these two factors create the perfect storm for repeated awakenings and restless nights. Many people don't realize that late-night water consumption is often the hidden cause of their disrupted sleep. After all, water is healthy. We're constantly reminded to drink more of it for better energy, digestion, and detoxification. And that's true. But timing matters just as much as quantity. When you drink plain water right before bed, your body doesn't have enough time to absorb and process it. Instead, it accumulates in the bladder. Because older adults typically have less bladder elasticity and lower levels of vasopressin, the hormone that tells the kidneys to conserve water overnight, they're much more likely to wake up to urinate, often multiple times each night. Imagine this. A 70-year-old man, proud of his healthy hydration routine, finishes a tall glass of water before bedtime. He falls asleep feeling refreshed, but 2 hours later, he's awake with an urgent need to use the bathroom. Back in bed, his mind starts racing. He tosses, turns, and struggles to fall asleep again. When he finally does, dawn is near. The next day, he feels groggy, unfocused, and achy. Repeat this cycle night after night, and the toll on his body and mind becomes significant. It's not just about frequent bathroom trips. It's about the disruption of the deep restorative sleep cycles that keep the brain sharp and the body strong. During the night, the body cycles through light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, stages crucial for cell repair, hormone regulation, and memory consolidation. Seniors already spend less time in deep sleep due to age-related changes in the brain, so every interruption steals away the few precious minutes the brain needs to recharge. This is why so many older adults report feeling mentally foggy, fatigued, or emotionally flat after several nights of poor sleep. In fact, studies show that even 1 week of interrupted sleep, that another issue that compounds nighttime awakenings is the declining strength of bladder muscles with age. The detrusor muscle, responsible for controlling bladder contractions, becomes more sensitive and prone to sending false alarms. This means even a half-full bladder can trigger the urge to urinate. The brain doesn't know the difference between an urgent signal and a mild one. It simply wakes you up. And once that happens, it can take a long time to drift back into the deep, healing stages of sleep your body so desperately needs. Would you like me to continue rewriting the next part, where the solution and the natural bedtime drink are revealed? When an older adult wakes up during the night, falling back asleep isn't always easy. This is partly due to age-related changes in melatonin production, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. As melatonin levels decline, even small interruptions like a bathroom trip can make it far harder to drift back into restful sleep. Over time, this creates a vicious cycle. Picture an elderly woman who prides herself on her independence. Every night, she drinks 2 cups of water before bed, believing it's good for her skin and digestion. But now she wakes up 3 or 4 times each night, walking back and forth to the bathroom. Not only does this rob her of deep sleep, it also raises her risk of nighttime falls, one of the most common and dangerous causes of injury among seniors. Even if she avoids falling, her mornings begin with exhaustion. Her energy dips throughout the day, her immune system weakens, her blood pressure creeps up, and she finds herself relying on naps to get through the afternoon. What began as a healthy hydration habit has quietly triggered a chain reaction of problems affecting her sleep, safety, and long-term health. The good news is that this is completely preventable with a few simple changes, starting with what you drink before bed. How poor sleep disrupts your metabolism. When we look at the science, the evidence is clear. Seniors who reduce evening fluid intake expect fewer nighttime awakenings and significantly better sleep quality. But there's something even more powerful: replacing water with the right kind of bedtime drink. Instead of overloading the bladder, the right beverage delivers calming nutrients that help the body relax and support the nervous system. For example, a warm drink enriched with magnesium helps the kidneys regulate hydration more efficiently, so the bladder isn't triggered by excess fluid during the night. Magnesium also soothes the nervous system, promoting calmness and preparing the body for deep, uninterrupted sleep. This small adjustment isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about restoring the body's natural sleep cycles, which are essential for longevity, brain health, and heart strength. One of the most overlooked effects of poor sleep, especially in older adults, is how it disrupts metabolism. Sleep is not simply a time of rest. It's a carefully orchestrated process that balances hormones, regulates blood sugar, controls appetite, and supports energy production. When sleep becomes fragmented, as it often does when seniors wake multiple times a night, the body loses its ability to maintain that internal balance. Studies show that even 1 night of interrupted sleep can cause a spike in cortisol, the stress hormone, and reduce insulin sensitivity, making it harder to manage blood sugar levels. For seniors, this is especially worrisome, since many are already at higher risk for type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Scientists now understand that the relationship between sleep and metabolism is so tightly linked that some even refer to sleep as the body's natural metabolic reset button. Would you like me to continue rewriting the next section? The part about how this sleep drink works and what ingredients it contains? Without that nightly reset button of deep restorative sleep, the body gradually slips into imbalance, accelerating aging and increasing the risk of chronic disease. Take blood sugar regulation as an example. During deep sleep, the body naturally becomes more efficient at managing glucose, keeping energy levels steady without sharp spikes or drops. But when sleep is fragmented or shortened, this process falters. Insu, the hormone that moves sugar from the blood into the cells, becomes less effective, a condition known as insulin resistance. That's why seniors who sleep poorly often wake up feeling unusually hungry, craving sweets or processed foods and lacking the motivation to stay active. It's not a matter of weak willpower. It's a hormonal reaction to disrupted sleep. The hormones "I slept," which signals fullness, decrease, while ghrelin, which weight gain, particularly around the midsection, which in turn worsens sleep quality by increasing the likelihood of snoring and sleep apnea. What begins as a simple issue of nighttime awakenings can quickly spiral into a deeper cycle of metabolic dysfunction. Here's where your evening drink can make a real difference. Plain water hydrates, yes, but it offers no nutrients to support your body's overnight metabolism. In contrast, specific nutrient-rich bedtime drinks can improve both sleep quality and metabolic health at the same time. One excellent example is tart cherry juice. It's naturally rich in DETs, the hormone that helps regulate sleep, and contains compounds that support glucose metabolism. In one study, older adults who drank tart cherry juice before bed not only but also showed better fasting glucose levels the next morning. In other words, their bodies managed blood sugar more efficiently overnight, reducing fatigue and promoting balanced energy the next day. Imagine a senior who struggles with poor sleep and borderline diabetes. Simply swapping their bedtime glass of water for a small serving of tart cherry juice could help them sleep through the night and stabilize their blood sugar. A simple, natural change with far-reaching benefits. Another powerful option is warm golden milk, a soothing traditional drink made from milk, turmeric, and sometimes a touch of cinnamon. Milk contains tryptophan, in ours, melatonin, supporting deeper, more regular sleep cycles. Turmeric provides curcumin, a potent anti-inflammatory compound that fights the low-grade inflammation linked to aging, obesity, and metabolic disorders. Cinnamon adds wear regular by slowing the rate at which glucose enters the bloodstream. For older adults, sipping a cup of golden milk before bed is far more than a comfort ritual. It's a gentle, natural way to calm the body, support metabolism, and encourage deep, restorative sleep. Would you like me to continue rewriting the next section about melatonin and other natural food-based sleep solutions? A warm, nutrient-rich bedtime drink like golden milk does more than comfort. It becomes a functional tool for improving both SLED. It's important to understand that metabolism isn't just about weight or blood sugar. It's also about how efficiently your cells repair and renew themselves. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone, which plays a vital role in healing tissues, rebuilding muscle, and maintaining healthy metabolism. Many seniors notice slower healing from minor injuries, post-exercise soreness, or even mild illnesses. While age is part of the picture, a bigger reason is often insufficient restorative sleep. The body simply doesn't get enough time in those deep phases where true repair occurs. Bedtime drinks rich in magnesium, calcium, and calming plant compounds that metabolic damage accumulates, leading to persistent fatigue, weaker immunity, and an increased risk of chronic disease. Consider the story of a man in his late 60s who used to drink plain water before bed to stay hydrated. He slept for 7 or 8 hours each night, but woke multiple times and always felt drained in the morning. Diagnosed with prediabetes and struggling to manage his weight, he decided, on his doctor's advice, to replace his bedtime water with a small cup of warm almond milk sprinkled with nutmeg. Within a few weeks, he noticed remarkable changes. He slept through the night more often, his morning blood sugar levels stabilized, and his energy noticeably improved. That one simple nightly adjustment supported both his sleep quality and his metabolic health, giving his body the recovery time it had been missing. For older adults, these kinds of small, intentional shifts can make all the difference, transforming nightly fatigue into daily vitality. This connection between sleep and metabolism highlights an important truth. What you drink before bed can influence nearly every system in the body. Hydration, sleep, and metabolism are not really. Seniors who continue drinking plain water before bed may unknowingly contribute to fragmented sleep, which in turn destabilizes metabolism and energy balance. On the other hand, those who choose calming, nutrient-rich bedtime drinks, ones that support natural melatonin production, relax the nervous system, and steady blood sugar, set the stage for a night of deep rest and a day of steady energy, sharp focus, and greater resilience. When people think about sleep troubles, the first word that usually comes to mind is melatonin. And for good reason. Melatonin plays a crucial role in regulating sleep cycles. But for seniors, the solution isn't always as simple as taking a supplement. Walk into any pharmacy, and you'll see shelves lined with melatonin products promising quick relief from insomnia. Yet the truth about how melatonin really works and how to naturally support your body's own production is far more nuanced. Pharmacy shelves today are lined with bottles claiming to help you sleep deeply or stay asleep longer. It sounds simple enough. If melatonin is the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, then taking more of it in pill form should restore restful nights. But the truth is more complicated. Research shows that while melatonin supplements that less effective for age-related insomnia or frequent nighttime awakenings, in some cases, high doses of synthetic melatonin can even backfire, disrupting your natural rhythm and leaving you groggy or unfocused the next morning. The human body functions best when it produces melatonin naturally, in the right amounts and at the right times. That's why natural dietary and lifestyle strategies are far more powerful and sustainable for older adults struggling with sleep. As we age, the pineal gland, the part of the brain responsible for producing melatonin, becomes less active. This decline explains why many seniors tend to fall asleep earlier, experience lighter sleep, and wake more often during the night. But here's the encouraging part. Even though melatonin production decreases with age, there are foods and drinks that can naturally stimulate its release or mimic its calming effects on the brain. By turning to nature's own pharmacy, seniors can help their bodies produce melatonin more effectively, without the side effects of synthetic supplements. One of the best natural sources is the tart cherry. Tart cherries are among the richest foods in natural melatonin, and multiple studies have shown that drinking tart cherry juice before bed can extend total sleep time by over an hour in older adults. The reason is simple yet profound. Tart cherries deliver melatonin in a form the body easily recognizes and uses. They also contain powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation, a hidden cause of sleep disturbances and nighttime restlessness. Imagine a senior who has spent years relying on over-the-counter sleep pills, waking up groggy and needing caffeine just to function. By replacing those pills with a small glass of tart cherry juice before bed, they might find within a week that they fall asleep fast and wake up feeling genuinely refreshed. all without the side effects or dependency of synthetic aids. This is the beauty of food-based sleep support. It's safer, gentler, and often more effective. Another excellent example is chamomile tea. While chamomile doesn't contain melatonin directly, it's rich in apigenin by nature. When apigenin binds to these receptors, it gently calms the nervous system. Chamomile tea produces a gentle, natural calming effect that helps the body relax and prepare for rest. Unlike pharmaceutical sleep medications, which artificially force the brain into drowsiness, chamomile works in harmony with the body's natural rhythms. It slows brain activity, reduces tension, and encourages the release of the body's own sleep hormones, including melatonin. Many older adults who replace their nightly glass of water with a warm cup of chamomile tea report not just better sleep, but also a calmer mind, lower anxiety, and smoother digestion. Examine holistic benefits of using natural remedies to support the body's own sleep signals rather than overriding them. Another excellent sleep-promoting food is kiwi fruit. Research has shown that eating 2 kiwis before bedtime can significantly improve how quickly older adults fall asleep and how long they stay asleep. Kiwis contain serotonin, a neurotransmitter that converts into melatonin, helping the body produce this essential hormone naturally. For seniors who prefer to avoid drinking too much fluid at night, kiwi offers a simple, effective way to boost sleep quality without disturbing rest. Though the effects may take a few weeks of consistency to appear, the improvements can be remarkable. The key lesson is that melatonin works best when it follows the body's natural rhythm, not when it's artificially supplied in large doses. The human body operates on about, influenced by light, diet, and daily habits. Bright lights and screens late at night can suppress melatonin production because the blue light from TVs, phones, and LED lamps signals the brain that it's still daytime. By contrast, dimming lights in the evening, sipping a melatonin-supportive drink, and following a calm nightly routine help align the body's internal clock with the natural cycle of day and night. This synchronization ensures melatonin is released at the right time and in the right amounts, promoting Consider the story of a 70-year-old woman who had relied on melatonin pills for years, but still woke up every night at 3 a.m. Unable to fall back asleep, she finally took her doctor's advice, replacing her bedtime water with a small glass of warm milk infused with cinnamon and a spoonful of tart cherry concentrate. Within a week, she noticed fewer awakenings and found it easier to drift back to sleep. By switching to natural melatonin sources and building a soothing bedtime ritual, she helped her body relearn how to sleep naturally. What once felt like a hopeless struggle became a peaceful, predictable rhythm, restoring her confidence in her body's ability to rest. This natural approach also protects seniors from dependence on prescription or over-the-counter sleep aids, which often come with side effects such as dizziness, confusion, and increased risk of falls. In contrast, Malat not only improves sleep but also promote better digestion, lower inflammation, and improved heart health. Ultimately, the body thrives when it is supported, not forced. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern neuroscience reinforces this idea: the glymphatic system, the brain's built-in cleaning network. For many years, scientists believed the brain lacked a waste-clearing system because it didn't have lymphatic vessels like other organs. But in the past 15 years, researchers have discovered that while we sleep, cerebrospinal fluid flows through special channels in the brain, washing away waste products that accumulate during the day. Among these waste products are beta-amyloid and tau proteins, which, when allowed to build up, are closely linked to Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is what activates this brain-cleaning process. When sleep becomes fragmented, as it often does in older adults who wake to use the bathroom or lie awake at 2 a.m., this cleansing process is disrupted. To visualize it, imagine the brain as a bustling city. During the day, traffic fills the streets, leaving behind debris and pollution. At night, sanitation crews come out to clean. But if they're interrupted halfway through, the trash piles up, traffic slows, and the city begins to decay. The glymphatic system works the same way. Without enough deep sleep, waste accumulates, neurons struggle to communicate, and memory becomes foggy. For seniors, every interrupted night means less cleanup, accelerating cognitive decline and raising the risk of dementia-related changes. This growing understanding highlights just how closely sleep quality and brain health are intertwined, and why supporting natural sleep through diet, light exposure, and routine is one of the most powerful ways to protect the aging mind. Studies consistently show that poor sleep in midlife and later years is closely linked to a higher risk of developing dementia. The question many scientists have asked is whether disturbed sleep is merely a symptom of early brain changes, or whether it actually causes those changes by allowing harmful proteins to build up. Increasingly, research suggests it's the latter. When sleep is fragmented, the brain's glymphatic system, its natural cleaning mechanism, cannot function properly, preventing waste removal and allowing toxic proteins to accumulate. This means that every night of interrupted sleep is a missed opportunity to protect the brain. Small lifestyle changes can dramatically improve this nightly cleaning process. 1. Simple adjustment involves choosing the right bedtime drink. Instead of plain water, which often leads to nighttime trips to the bathroom, seniors can opt for calming, sleep-supportive beverages. Warm herbal teas such as chamomile or whole melatonin or magnesium further enhance deep sleep, keeping the brain in an optimal state for glymphatic cleansing. By making this simple substitution, seniors can extend the time their brain spends in restorative sleep, leading to sharper memory, better focus, and lower risk of age-related cognitive decline. Take the example of a retired teacher. In her early 70s, she had always made hydration a priority and kept a large glass of water on her bedside table every night. Though she slept for 7 to 8 hours, she woke up 3 or 4 times and felt groggy each morning. Her doctor explained that frequent waking was fragmenting her sleep and preventing proper brain cleansing. On his advice, she replaced her nightly water with a small cup of tart cherry tea. Within weeks, she noticed fewer awakenings and began waking up feeling clear-minded, energized, and more positive. Her simple habit change gave her brain the uninterrupted time it needed to restore itself overnight. Deep sleep does far more than cleanse the brain. It also consolidates memories and learning. During the day, the brain collects vast amounts of information, but it's during sleep that this data is sorted, organized, and stored into long-term memory. When sleep is broken, this process falters, leading to forgetfulness, slower thinking, and difficulty recalling names or details. Many seniors experiencing these issues don't realize that fragmented sleep is starving the brain of the time it needs to process and preserve information. By building an evening routine that prioritizes uninterrupted rest, such as replacing bedtime water with a sleep-nourishing drink, seniors can create the conditions their brains need to maintain mint. The glymphatic system's influence extends beyond memory. Inadequate waste clearance in the brain has also been linked to mood disorders such as anxiety and depression, which are increasingly common among older adults. Chronic sleep disruption not only accelerates cognitive decline, but also wear. Many seniors who feel irritable, anxious, or low may not realize that their mood issues are rooted in poor sleep quality. Supporting the brain's natural nightly detox cycle helps stabilize mood and improve overall well-being, creating a positive ripple effect that enhances quality of life. Something as small as changing what one drinks before bed can become a powerful tool for improving both sleep and emotional resilience. In the bigger picture, protecting the glymphatic system through consistent, uninterrupted sleep is one of the most valuable investments in long-term brain health. Seniors who continue to wake frequently risk accelerating age-related decline, while those who create a calm down-preserve them. Modern science is only beginning to uncover the full importance of the glymphatic system. But one truth is already clear. Sleep is not just rest. It is repair and renewal at the deepest cellular level. Every habit that supports longer, deeper sleep, including the simple act of choosing the right bedtime drink, becomes an act of protection for the brain itself. Among the many minerals essential for health, magnesium stands out as one of the most powerful yet often overlooked. Known as born, magnesium has a profound effect on the nervous system, muscles, and stress hormones, making it a cornerstone of good sleep. Unfortunately, many older adults fail to get enough magnesium from their diets, leading to problems such as many older adults struggle with nighttime restlessness, muscle cramps, or anxiety, issues that often trace back to low magnesium levels, heart health, and blood pressure that cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, all of which interfere with deep, restorative sleep. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium regulator in nerve cells. While calcium stimulates muscle and nerve activity, magnesium helps balance it by keeping cells calm and relaxed. When magnesium levels drop, this balance shifts. Nerves fire too easily and muscles contract involuntarily, leading to twitching, cramps, or restless legs. Seniors may find themselves lying in bed with legs that won't stay still or a body that feels wired despite exhaustion. Many respond by drinking more water before bed, hoping hydration will ease cramps. Unfortunately, plain water cannot fix a magnesium deficiency, and often makes things worse by causing frequent bathroom trips that fragment sleep. The solution lies in magnesium-rich evening drinks that nourish and relax the body at the same time. A classic example is warm milk. It provides magnesium, calcium, and tryptophan, three nutrients that work in harmony to encourage sleep. The warmth itself soothes the body and signals it to wind down. For those who are lactose intolerant, almond milk offers a gentle, dairy-free alternative naturally high in magnesium. When warmed and flavored with a sprinkle of nutmeg or cinnamon, it becomes a calming bedtime ritual that helps both body and mind unwind. Seniors who replace their nightly glass of cold water with a small cup of warm almond milk often report feeling their muscles relax. Their minds slow down, and their sled, beyond cue for the brain. Yes, imagine an older man in his late 60s who had struggled for years with restless legs that kept him awake. Thinking dehydration was the problem, he drank more water before bed, only to wake up repeatedly to use the bathroom. A nutritionist suggested replacing the water with a small cup of warm almond milk and half a teaspoon of honey. Within 2 weeks, he noticed that his legs were calmer, he woke up less often, and when he did, he could easily drift back to sleep. The magnesium from the almond milk, paired with the natural sugars and honey, helped his body relax and his sleep stabilize. What once felt like a nightly battle turned into a peaceful and restorative ritual. Beyond easing muscle tension, magnesium also has a profound effect on stress regulation. It helps control cortisol levels by balancing the HPA axis, the system that governs the body's stress response. High nighttime cortisol keeps the body on alert, making relaxation nearly impossible. By lowering cortisol, magnesium helps the nervous system release tension, paving the way for true rest. For seniors, this translates into better sleep, steadier blood pressure, and improved emotional balance. When cortisol is kept in check, the body can reset overnight, leading to more energy and mental clarity during the day. Scientific studies back these observations. Research shows that older adults who increase their magnesium intake fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more refreshed. In food and drinks, the magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, bananas, and leafy greens can play an essential role in promoting deep, restorative sleep, especially for older adults. These foods can easily be added to evening snacks or drinks to support relaxation. For instance, blending a banana into warm oat milk creates a naturally sweet, magnesium-rich beverage that calms the body and prepares the mind for restful sleep. For seniors who have spent years struggling with restless nights, understanding the role of magnesium can be truly transformative. Sleep troubles often aren't just an inevitable part of aging. They're the body's way of signaling a deficiency. By replacing plain water with a warm, magnesium-rich drink before bed, seniors not only help correct the imbalance that leads to restlessness and muscle tension, but also create a nightly ritual that nurtures both the body and mind. Over time, this simple habit can lead to deeper sleep, a more stable mood, sharper cognitive health, and greater vitality. One of the most overlooked factors in improving sleep, particularly in later years, is not just what you drink before bed, but how you approach that moment. Human beings thrive on rhythm and consistency. Just as children benefit from predictable bedtime routines, older adults also gain greatly from familiar signals that tell the body it's time to rest. When the nervous system experiences the same calming sequence each night, it begins to anticipate sleep naturally. Unfortunately, many older adults have bedtime habits that work against this process, such as watching late-night television, scrolling through a phone, or drinking a large glass of cold water before lying down. These activities stimulate the brain, disrupt the bladder, or confuse the body's sleep signals. In contrast, establishing a soothing nighttime ritual built around a warm, sleep-supportive drink creates both a physical and psychological bridge to deeper rest and more sustained energy the next day. The true power of this practice lies in its ritualistic nature. Imagine setting aside just 10 minutes before bed, dimming the lights, putting on soft instrumental music, and preparing a warm cup of chamomile tea with honey or almond milk with a sprinkle of cinnamon. As the steam rises, the aroma gently soothes the senses. The warmth relaxes the digestive system, while the nutrients calm the nervous system. Over time, your brain begins to associate the smell, taste, and sensation of this drink with the transition into sleep. This is no longer just hydration, it becomes a nightly act of restoration, turning fragmented, shallow rest into deep, uninterrupted sleep. This ritual is powerful because it restores a sense of control about SLED. Consider the story of a retired woman in her late 60s who had struggled with restless sleep for years. Each night, she began preparing a cup of golden milk, warm oat milk infused with turmeric, about 30 minutes before bed. She would sit in her favorite chair, sip slowly, and reflect on her day. Within 2 weeks, she found herself falling asleep faster. After a month, she noticed she was sleeping longer without waking to use the bathroom. Her mornings felt lighter and calmer, and she moved through her days with renewed energy. What began as a simple change in her diet became a powerful shift in the rhythm of her life. The benefits of such rituals extend far beyond nighttime. Deep, uninterrupted sleep directly influences how much energy the body can generate the next day. Seniors who adopt a calming bedtime drink often find they no longer experience the mid-morning fatigue or afternoon drowsiness that once plagued them. Their energy feels steadier, their mood brighter, and their focus sharper. This happens because quality sleep restores cellular energy production, improves insulin sensitivity, and reduces inflammation, all essential processes for maintaining vitality. Ritual also provides emotional healing. Many older adults live with chronic stress, loneliness, or anxiety, factors that can deeply disturb sleep. A nightly drink ritual becomes a grounding moment, a gentle pause that shifts the nervous system from a state of alertness into one of relaxation. Take, for example, an elderly widower who struggled with both grief and sleepless nights. He began preparing lavender-infused tea before bed. Over time, this small act became more than a sleep aid. It was a nightly moment of peace, reflection, and emotional release. The calming scent and warmth of the tea eased his loneliness and helped him drift into restful sleep. His anxiety faded, his sleep deepened, and he awoke each morning feeling steadier and more at peace. Ultimately, the secret to better sleep for seniors lies not only in nutrients like magnesium, but in the rhythm of nightly care, creating small, consistent moments that tell the body and mind it's time to rest, to heal, and to renew. This illustrates how nightly rituals influence not just the body, but also the heart and spirit, and science explains why. Consistency in evening habits helps strengthen circadian rhythms, the body's internal clock that determines when we feel awake and when we feel sleepy. As people age, these rhythms often weaken due to irregular schedules, reduced daylight exposure, or disrupted sleep patterns. Establishing a nightly ritual centered around a warm, calming drink helps realign these rhythms by signaling the body to release melatonin and lower cortisol levels. Over time, this alignment restores balance, making sleep more predictable, deeper, and more rejuvenating. A simple ritual can truly transform a person's nights and days. Consider a 75-year-old man who used to nod off in front of the television at random hours and then lie awake for hours once in bed. His days felt slow and his motivation to stay active had faded. Following his doctor's advice, he replaced his late-night water and screen time with a quiet bedtime routine. A warm cup of chamomile tea, 10 minutes of gentle journaling, and lights out at the same time each night. Within weeks, his sleep became steady, his mornings more energized, and his desire to move and engage with life returned. What began as a simple change in his nightly drink evolved into a life-enhancing habit that renewed his vitality and confidence. A warm, nutrient-rich beverage before bed represents far more than a replacement for plain water. It becomes a cornerstone ritual that nourishes the body, calms the mind, and strengthens natural sleep signals. For seniors who have battled fatigue, brain fog, and restless nights, this practice offers a gentle, science-backed path toward deeper rest, sustained energy, emotional balance, and a renewed sense of well-being that carries into every part of life.